Blood pressure is measure of the force of pressure produced when blood passes through arteries. Human blood pressure can be categorized into three, which is normal, high and low. 30% of the Malaysian population has high blood pressure in 2019, which is around 6.5 million people. For the problem segment, there are several methods that can be used to measure blood pressure. Even so, not all the methods produce accurate results. The use of inaccurate method will cause problems for the researcher. MLP is an appropriate method to identify factors that contribute to high blood pressure. These factors need to be identified so that the health authorities can take the next step to curb this problem. Data for this study were obtained from Hospital University Sains Malaysia Kebanyakan from 2014 until 2017 and it involved 200 respondents. The study was developed to obtain an optimal blood pressure data modeling using Multilayer Perceptron method. Based on Kwani et al. On their article that published on 2012, the risk factor for high blood pressure, hypertension in adults as well as children is the rate of sodium intake and overweight. This study was conducted to examine the relationship between dietary sodium intake and blood pressure among US children and adults by weight. Through this study, it was found that systolic blood pressure reading in US children and adults was correlated with sodium intake rates. Based on Hassan et al., they conducted a study to introduce a new approach to optimizing architectural network. They used MLP with activated sigma and backpropagation training. Through this study, it was found that the constructed model provides two qualities, which is uses multiple connection and has a highest average rate of classification accuracy. Multilayer Perceptron is one of the artificial neural network. MLP is also addition to the feed-forward neural network and is a combination of many non-linear functions. MLP literally has several layers, but generally has three main layers. Generally, MLP uses a fully connected configuration. Activation function is a function that determines the relationship between the input and the output of node and the network. For this study, we use linear activation function. Data test was done with 70% for the training process, while another 30% was allocated for the testing process. Based on the decision table, we can see that there are three significant variables, which is age, systolic blood pressure, and family hereditary history. This is determined based on the value of P, where the variable with a P value of less than 0.05 is identified as the significant variable. For the process of testing, the effectiveness of the model is very important because it can show that the significance of the study that has been done. For this study, MLP performance was measured with the MST test. For the network performance, it is compared with a multiple linear regression model. From the analysis, we know that the neural network model has smaller MSE value than the linear model. With this, we can conclude that MLP is the best model to determine the most dominant variable to the hypertension data. In short, we can say that this study has fulfilled its objective, which is to identify the best model using the multilayer perceptron model to find the factors that have a strong influence on high blood pressure. From the model used, we found that there are three significant variables, which is age, systolic blood pressure, and family history heart attack. These factors were chosen because they meet the characteristics set by the ARC principle, which is p-value that less than 0.05. We also can conclude that MLP is the best model to determine the dominant variable to hypertension data because the MSE value for the linear model is higher than the neural network. I have a few recommendations for the study in the future. In order to obtain more accurate results, the selection of research data must be given attention and emphasized. Next, the future researchers are also advised to use other suitable neural network methods such as recurrent neural network, modular neural network, and also convolutional neural network. This method also can be applied to other medication data such as data for diabetes, cancer, kidney failure, AIDS, and even for HIV. Other software that the future researcher can use are SPSS modeler and MATLAB.